The Madden 26 reveal trailer dropped yesterday, and a week ago, the College Football 26 trailer dropped as well. And if you watched both, you may have noticed there was a lot of similarities between the two, and it turns out that that's not by mistake. As we got some very important information yesterday, it should be great news if you're a fan of the Madden series, but also could be troubling news if you're a fan of the college football series. But before I get into that, as always, if you guys want to see more videos like this, please make sure to be a subscriber, hit the like button, and let me know in the comment section. Other than that, let's get right into the video. Now, about a week ago, before any of these trailers dropped, I did share a story with you guys, a photo from EA Sports Tiburon in Orlando, where a lot of content creators were invited out for a 2-day event where they basically got to play both games. One day was a presentation for College Football 26, the other day was a presentation for Madden 26, and they were also given hands-on time with the game where they basically got to play and mess around with the game, so they basically get to play the game before anybody else. And the reports coming back from that were surprising in the fact that a lot of the content creators were very high on the presentation when it comes to Madden. More specifically, I'm referencing three of the creators here in Eric Rayweather, Bangle, and Kurt Benkert, who all made mention either their X accounts or in YouTube videos that they put out that they think that this game is going to be one of the best in years.
I went to EA this year, way more excited to hear about College Football 26. Madden 26 was kind of just extra at this point. I went in there, I saw the college presentation on the first day, was really happy with what I saw. Then I go in on day 2 for Madden, and I'm like, I just hope to walk away from this pleased, but let's see. And all I'll say is I was blown away at what Madden saw. I think personally, Madden won the presentation of the 2 days. And it really felt to me like it wasn't 1 year worth of work that went into this game. It felt like it was more like 3 development cycles that went into this game, because I just couldn't believe the amount of stuff they added.
Then when the trailers dropped and the information came out about what to expect in the new games before the deep dives come out, the early reports really show that there's going to be a lot of similarities between these two games. I mean, some of the bigger features that were being sold to the College Football 26 experience were features that are already in Madden. Features like cross-play in Dynasty mode, which has already been in Madden's franchise mode for the last couple of years. Things like the home field advantage, where you could see in the trailer that the receivers are getting confused based off the crowd noise. Well, that's something that was in Madden for the last couple of years, where essentially if the crowd noise got to a certain extent, you would see receivers not running the routes or not knowing what routes they're running, or you wouldn't be able to see the icons. And the same thing could be said for Madden, as we're seeing a lot of the same features that were really good in College Football 25 being ported over to Madden 26 as well, with the most obvious being the presentation itself, as Madden has really lacked presentation over the years, and one of the key focal points of the Madden 26 trailer has been the pageantry of the game. Just like the college football side of it, you see a lot of mascots, you see a lot of new intros, a lot of new pageantry when it comes to the crowd, when it comes to players running out on the field, which is something that's been lacking. And they also brought wear and tear to Madden this year, as well as what they're calling Coach DNA, which is something that you really got to see traces of in college football, where the idea is to try to make the individual experience of playing each team kind of more authentic to what it would be like in real life, whether it's situational tendencies or the playbooks are more genuine to how these teams actually run their offenses or defenses, which is something that you saw a lot in college football. They used the example of Dan Campbell and the Lions going for it on 4th down a lot, but if you were to play College Football 25, you would have noticed that if you played a team that runs a lot of hurry up in real life or runs a lot of no huddle in real life, that they'll be running no huddle pretty much the entire game. You got specific offensive packages for each team that might be more realistic to what they run, whether it's Army, Navy, whether it's this year they talk about how they're adding the new Penn State offensive formation, where I think it was called like the Penn State Heavy, and some new option offenses and stuff like that, like Rice's modern option. And that's basically the same thing that they're doing in Madden. Now, if you're wondering why these things are so similar, we may have found an answer yesterday, thanks to Eric Rayweather and Kurt Benkert's Twitter accounts, in an uncoordinated X posting where they both shared the same name of a person named Scott O. Gallagher as the reason that they were so impressed with Madden 26 and so hopeful for the future of the game. As Kurt Benkert went as far as to double down, saying, "I told you I wasn't playing. I've never stuck my neck out like this before for the game. I was very impressed by at Scott O. Gallagher and the team getting the game back to real football roots." Where they said a strong start with today today's reveal, a lot of gameplay nuances have been rediscovered. Can already see the influence that CFB has sparked for Madden. Eric Rayweather later tweeted the exact same name, and Scott OG talking about both games, not just college football. The reason being is because he's now working on Madden as well. He's a big reason why CFB 25 was such a huge success, and he was an important part of NBA 2K's best years. Having him on Madden gameplay will be great for us. Now, if you're not aware of who Scott O'Gallagher is, don't be ashamed. He's essentially a former senior producer on 2K from about 2014 to about 2020, which is an era of NBA 2K's history that's often thought of as one of the best, as related in Eric Rayweather's tweet. But if you look up the best NBA 2K games of all time, a lot of them will reference NBA 2K16 as being one of the best, if not the best, in the entire history of the series. And in 2020, he was brought back to EA to be the creative director at EA Sports, where a lot of people thought he was going to try to revive the NBA Live brand based on the fact that he has an extensive basketball history, being a former basketball player himself. But instead, he took on the creative director role for EA Sports and seemed to work primarily on college football to revive that series. Now, if you don't know this, College Football 25 was not just the best-selling sports game of the year, it was the best-selling sports game of all time. Add that to the fact that Madden Football seriously underperformed. After starting off strong by being August's best-selling game in 2024, it also sold over 1 million copies in its first week, but it also saw a serious decline in engagement as the numbers went down significantly by January of 2025. As EA doesn't just rely on its initial pre-game sales, it also relies on the more than $2 billion that it generates in its Madden Ultimate Team, which is something that it can only generate if people stick around to play. And it appears that EA looked to Scott O'Gallagher to basically try to bring some of the success or some of the magic from College Football 25 over to the Madden series and essentially split his attention to work on both games, which is definitely a good thing for Madden followers, but it's not necessarily a good thing for college followers based off the fact that most people that play college football want nothing to do with Madden, and most people that play Madden want nothing to do with college football. But if you played both games last year, you could tell that college football was definitely the better product, even though it still had its issues. It was definitely a step in the right direction and a leader in the clubhouse in a lot of different ways, especially when it came to ingenuity, as we saw a lot of new features developed in the college football series before eventually being ported over to Madden, like the new revamped passing, the new wear and tear system that is being ported over in Madden 26. We saw the new switch stick system, the coverage shell system. All these things were developed behind the scenes and then eventually ported over to Madden that weren't even, a lot of them weren't even available at the release of the game, as it got ported over throughout the course of the year. And this even includes the new stunts and twists that were first mentioned in the College Football 26 reveal trailer, as well as the new QB DNA, which is being rumored to be in both Madden and College Football 26. Even though it hasn't been confirmed yet, if you read what QB DNA is, it talks about signature moves, and in the college football trailer, you see Bryce Underwood do a spin move in the pocket, which is supposed to be associated with QB DNA. So it seems like it's going to be in the game, even though it's not official. But these games are to the point now, since we have the same guy heading them up, that they're looking pretty identical. The only real difference that I see between these two games right now is that College Football 26 has dynamic lighting, which is basically going to be, how the sun's going to change in the sky throughout the game, while EA has talked about Madden 26 having dynamic weather, but hasn't really mentioned anything about the lighting. So this really seems like two things that could be together, but they're being separated to two different games as the really only defining things that I'm seeing that separate these things, aside from the obvious game mode differences that you would see in Dynasty compared to Franchise, or Superstar mode versus Road to Glory. Other than that, these games are starting to look pretty much identical. And now with the release of College Football 26 and Madden 26 info coming out, it's apparent that just about everything that was successful in college, including the speed of the game, the atmosphere, you name it, is basically being copied and pasted or attempted to be in Madden 26, which, like I said, if you like to play Madden, it's probably a huge improvement based on the fact that college football was a much better game. And EA is now admitting that with the direction that they're going with the way that they're producing these games. But the concern for college football fans should be, did the same amount of attention get put into College Football 26 that got put into College Football 25, based off of the fact that you're now dividing the attention of one of its most important developmental minds in Scott O'Gallagher, which is just part of reality. If you have to divide your attention to two tasks compared to one, you're going to put less time into both. That's just the reality of life. And considering that EA's Madden 25 performed so poorly, I wouldn't be surprised if the NFL put more pressure on EA to put more time and attention into Madden, based off the fact that we've seen this in the past where the NFL has put pressure on EA, which actually cost a year of development in college football as the game was pushed back because it was rumored that EA had to bring so many developers back from the college football team to try to fix problems in Madden because the NFL was so upset with how poorly the game was performing a few years ago. And based off of the fact that EA's contract or their exclusive license with the NFL Players Association could be running out, it's even more incentive for them to try to figure out how to get Madden back to its glory days as soon as possible. But it could come at a cost to the college football experience and college football players. Only time will tell, but let me know in the comments section what you guys think. And if you want to see more about either one of these games, I've made previous videos explaining a lot, so I'll have those on screen. So just click the links, and until next time, thanks for watching, man. Much it out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.